Today's video, I'm going to be walking you guys through the best hero investments to make in the current market crash. So, just before the video does start, a quick little ad on a trading service I offer over on Twitch. For the cheapest premium trading service for just £4, €4, or free with Amazon Prime. You'll get yourself daily trading and investing guides covering both Xbox and PlayStation with an array of different techniques depending on your budget. I've been trading for over 10 years, making over 100 million on multiple titles, and recently making over 10 million in the first month for the last 3 years. So in today's video, we are going to be walking you guys through the best hero investments to go and make during the World Cup crash. The reason we're doing this is because we've literally got about 1 or 2 days until I think the crash will be the bottom, which is going to be a Thursday evening to Friday midday. And then again, I think there's a really good rebound on some of the cards. So the main reason the market has crashed is because there is anticipation around the World Cup. That is both World Cup, promos, World Cup heroes, World Cup icons, and a few other things. And as a result, the market has crashed, and for some players have generally dropped about 30-40%. Now this allows us to have a great investing opportunity, but what we need to do is we need to see which ones are the best to invest in and why they're the best to invest in. Now, in today's video, I'm going to be mainly highlighting heroes, and that's because heroes have had some of the highest percentage drops, and also because some of the base heroes go out of packs. So if you guys aren't aware, we currently obviously have, we currently have, like the base heroes. For example, Marquez has got himself that Marquez, and then we're going to go and get this Marquez this Friday. Now, what's happening is this Marquez is actually going to replace that Marquez. I don't know why I've decided to pick an icon that I can't pronounce, but, you know, we'll work with it. So this basically, Marquez is going to be in packs instead of this one. It's a little bit like when they take baby icons out of packs and they put in the primes. They're basically doing this with the World Cup heroes for the 6 weeks that the World Cup or whatever is going on. So as a result, there's a nice little investing opportunity. And that investing opportunity comes in the shape of, it's a little bit like icons, right? As I said earlier. But it's a little bit like people are selling, let's say, for example, let's go over Henry, okay? What's basically happening at the moment is people are selling baby Henry in the anticipation around Prime Henry coming out. And we obviously will know that Prime Henry is millions and millions when he comes out. So selling 500k baby Henry, even though yes, he can play a striker, you're not going to be able to go and sell them for 500k and buy this for 500k, right? This is going to come out at like 2 million or whatever. So that's kind of the equivalent with these cards. This is equivalent with the likes of the World Cup cards, right? Because Forlan, his base card is this. And the card that they're going to go and release on Friday is this. Which means Forlan has a +6 pace, a +5 dribbling, and a +4 shooting. He's also got a +4 physical, he's got himself a +4 passing, and no one really cares about defending. So I guess it's a little bit like this, where you see +1s, +3s, +9s, and as a result, the cards are so different and so far apart in terms of ability that this card is at the moment 240k, and he's obviously down from about 320k, and it'll keep dropping and dropping, maybe down to about 220, 210. But I tell you for free, this card is not going to be 210 when it comes out. This card, when it comes out, is generally going to be the best part of about 1 to maybe 1.5 million. Potentially more than that. So the same people who sell this card, that maybe are expecting people to go and buy this card, it's just not going to happen. It's completely different demographics. I say it's like imagine a Wagyu steak shop opening next to a McDonald's. People aren't all of a sudden going to go, oh, I don't fancy a McDonald's, let me go to this fancy Wagyu steak place. No, it's different demographics, you know. People who sell him for 240 are not going to be the same people buying him for 1.5 million. And that's why we should see such a great rebound. Because the going to anticipate buying this card, they're not going to be able to afford this card, at least for the first few hours, and they're going to go back and buying that card. So what we need to do is we need to identify the heroes that have the biggest difference between the base hero and the World Cup hero. Because there are actually a few heroes which there really isn't that much between the cards. Who is a good example? I think Nakata is a good example here. Because we've got Nakata's card here, and let me go and get Nakata's base card. Nakata has got a +2 on the shooting, a +1 on the dribbling, a +2 on the shooting, a +2 on the pace, and a +1 on the passing. Like, there really isn't much between these two Nakatas, and the same league, same nation, and as a result, I can't really see... Yes, I do see this card rebounding, because this card will... Obviously, it's got a fancy image, and that will increase its price, But there isn't a big enough difference that I'm like, yeah, they're different demographics. You know, one's a Ferrari, one's a Ford Ka. It's like one's a Ford Ka, one's a, I don't know, whatever's above 4K, I'm not a car person. So what I've done is I've gone and found the biggest differences between the two cards, and I've gone and got you guys the best investments. Now, there are a few problems I do have as well with this, and that is some of them have such drastic league changes, I wouldn't really go near them. So like Cavalio, I mean, his card isn't really that much of an upgrade, but this card goes from Liga NOS to Prem. I mean, these are kind of like different demographics. I mean, has this card even been panic sold that much? Yeah, I mean, this card hasn't really been panic sold whatsoever. I think another one I do struggle with is Smolarek, is because this new card is Polish League, but I still think there's a bit of an investment in it. So let's go through the investments that I think are the best to go and get. And we'll start off where we literally were a second ago. Forlan. Diego Forlan has such a massive difference between this card and this card that I think the base card is going to be a great investment. Again, we're looking to invest in these Thursday evening or Friday. Going to be about midday, 1 PM-ish, I'd say. Although I will be tracking the prices live on stream to get you really, really specific buy prices to the minute, hopefully. So Forlan is the biggest, has one of the biggest differences, and as a result, I do believe that he is a good investment. The second player that I think has one of the biggest differences is the likes of Park Ji-sung. Now, interestingly enough, the card actually isn't too different from this card. Like, there isn't that much of an upgrade. +1 pace, +1 shooting, +4 passing, +2 dribbling, and +2 defending. So you might go, well, that completely goes against everything you talked about for the last few minutes. But the main thing with this card is this has no central utility. You play him on the left, you play him on the right, you play him in the wing. Whereas this card, I would be surprised if he doesn't have CDM, centre mid, cam. And as a result of him having such good central utility, he's going to be very, very popular. He's also now 80 plus stats everywhere, and that really, making the Hullet Club is quite big. So I can see this Ji Park-sung rebounding really, really well, because I can't see this card in the first few hours, which is when people are going to be building their teams back. I can't see this card being below 700k. I think it might even be close to 1 million. So as a result of that card being so expensive, because of the central utility and the 80 plus all stats, I think we see a great, great rebound on this card. And once again, you are looking to buy these cards Thursday evening or Friday midday. But there we go, that's the second player that I think is great. And it's maybe not so much because of the stats, and it's more because of the position utility. We then get to the third investment, if I can go and find them, and that is the likes of Brolin. Now, Brolin again has massive upgrades, +3 on the pace, +2 on the dribbling, +4 on the shooting. The main relevance is it just makes all these stats above 90, which looks a lot nicer. I think that this Brolin card will be again about 900 to 1.2 million in the first few hours, maybe even more. And as a result, the Brolin for 200k is a completely different demographic. He's this card is going to be 3, 4, 5 times as much as this card. And as a result, I see a very good rebound. Also, we saw some crazy demand on Brolin here, which, obviously demonstrates, if there's good demand there, obviously that should demonstrate some good demand after 6 PM on the likes of Friday. Something people may bring up is, what about the free icon? Don't worry. Not only are not that many people, or I don't believe a high portion of players are going to get the free icon, they'll get a load of trash anyway. And I'll be honest with you, it's a bit dead, but those, in my opinion, are literally the best 3. There's a few outside ones that I think could be decent, and that is Capdevila. The only problem I have is this card is generally absolutely awful. I can't say I really comprehend why on earth it's 82k in the first place, but maybe it's because I know nothing about FIFA. But yeah, obviously this card has a massive difference. I never understand people paying 400 or 500k for left backs, but obviously going from 84 pace to 90 pace is a massive difference. So I'd say he's one of the outside cards. I'd say looks decent. Who is another one? Smolarek, again, I think because this card has 94 pace, 92 dribbling, and 90 shooting. The only problem I have is it now plays in the Polish League, and it depends how much people are relying on the utility of this card. But yeah, again, another card for a bit of an outside shout could do quite well, especially, I guess, because this is Bundesliga, and obviously this is the Polish League, but because it's the Polish League, it might make that card a little bit cheaper, and, that's the kind of the problem I have with that card. And I believe that's kind of all she wrote. Again, diversity is always good, but there really isn't too much that shouts out to me. Voller's cards are just very expensive in the first place. Nakata, irrelevant. Papin, again, I don't think there's much demand on his base. Yaya Toure. Yaya Toure is actually an outside shout there because this card has been panic sold. He's rebounded a little bit since, from 1.3 million down to about 1 million. And again, this card on the get-go, on the release of the game, is going to be one of the most demanded cards out there. And it's going to be about 2.5 to 3 mil. Unless EA scuff the pack weight, because it literally is going to be the card that every big YouTuber wants to use, every streamer is going to want to use. But in theory, he should be packed next to nothing. And as a result, being double or triple the price of this card, we should see a decent rebound, at least back to 1.3 million. So, yeah, I think that is probably going to go and wrap it up for a video and give you my 2 cents. Of course, I do stream every day, so you're more than welcome to ask me any questions. I will be streaming, obviously, on the Thursday and the Friday, when you guys should be buying these cards. So, you guys can obviously ask me some questions. And, yeah, I believe, just having a quick look at that team, that is all she wrote. But, thanks for watching. I'll see you guys tomorrow with a brand new video.